Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, December 8th of 2019. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Today's topic, 2019. It ain't over yet, baby. There is still time to finish strong. Now, this year, I know I'm not the only one that feels this way, but this year seems to have flown by. However, we have, depending on what time zone you're in, what country you're in, 23 or 24 days left of this year, and there's still time. There's still time to, think about what are the goals that we set for ourselves in this year? What did we, really, what was the outlook we had 12 months ago when we were, 11 months ago when we were coming into 2019? What was the outlook and hopes that we had for 2019 and what's happened with that? There's still time for us to put some focus on some of those things and make a difference so that we can finish this year feeling stronger, maybe a little more accomplished, maybe a little more fulfilled, depending on what that is for you. Now, we have 4 Sundays left in 2019, and that's 4 of our weekly prayer and healing circles. So what we're going to do, and this is, unless sometimes Spirit wakes me up with some grand inspiration and things change last minute, but what is on the plan right now for these next 4 weeks is today looking at what are the goals that we want to fulfill in this final month so that we have a strong finish to 2019. And then next week, we're going to look at the year in review and celebrate some of the successes and really bring in that energy of success and increase the life force as that can so often do. On the 22nd, in 2 weeks from today, we'll be looking at some of the things we want to put closure on, looking at what is complete, looking at what is complete or not, and just something that we want to release and leave behind as we move forward. And then in our final week of 2019, we'll be anchoring in what we want to carry forward so that we're moving into 2020 with more spaciousness and clarity and strength. So that's what we've got planned, and I'm excited about it, and I hope you are too. All right, so let's go ahead and come into our prayer and healing circle. So let's all come together. Welcome into the prayer and healing circle. Come together, sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together and together, bringing our hearts together and calling on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you directly. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light to fill the center of our circle and just let yourself bring all of your attention to this focal point in the center of our circle, where this essence of divine light is streaming in, and to bring all of your senses, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, all of the sensory organs on your face to face into this essence of pure divine light, and allow your senses to be met with this cleansing vibration. Let your eyes be met with this light, and your seeing be purified Let your ears be met with this light and your hearing be cleansed. Let your sense of smell and taste and texture and all of the associations with our senses, with your senses, let them be met with this light. Let them be cleansed. Let them be purified. Let them be returned and restored to their pure state, to become the observer, to be in the moment with whatever is reflected for you in front of you for you to take in. And breathe this in this vibration of pure divine light. Breathe it into your lungs and into your heart and into your body. So that this essence, this vibration can be taken up into your bloodstream and delivered as nourishment to every cell of your body. Invite every cell of your body to take this in and drink. Drink from this essence of pure divine light. A full breath in, and as you exhale, bring your heart center to face toward the center of our circle. That funnel of energy that extends from the front of your heart space. Just bring that, like the eye at the center of your chest, the eye of your heart, to face into this focal point in the center of our circle. And as we bring our hearts together there, let's call on our source again. We call on you directly. We ask you to send your essence of your pure, unconditional love. And just imagine, feel, perceive this essence of pure, unconditional love and pure divine light streaming into the center of our circle, filling all of our circle with divine light and unconditional love. And as you breathe this in, focus your breath into your heart center, as if that funnel of energy at the front of your heart space becomes a breathing portal, breathing this essence of divine light and unconditional love into your heart space. And as you exhale, relax, release, and soften. Let your heart space become cleansed of its tension, of the clutter, of any of the blocks and barriers that keep you from receiving love completely into your heart center. The poet Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers that you have built against it. So let this vibration of divine light and unconditional love wash through your heart. And with your exhale, allow yourself to release any of the blocks and barriers that are ready to go, any of the dust and the cobwebs and the tension. Just let this flow of this divine light and unconditional love, as you breathe it in through your heart space, just let it wash and cleanse your heart center. And with each breath, breathe this essence in more deeply into your heart space, breathing in this essence of pure divine light and unconditional love deeply into your heart center. And as you exhale, relax, release, allow your heart space to soften, and let this flow, this light and love, flow all the way through your heart space and into the core of your being. And let your energy body lean back slightly toward the front of your spine, and let this vibration flow like a stream, a gentle stream flowing in and filling all of the core of your being with this pure essence of divine light and unconditional love. And allow this flow to meet with the flow of divine light and unconditional love that exists at your core. Let it awaken and enliven that life force inside of you. Wake up the divine light and unconditional love that is flowing through you. And breathing this into your core. As you exhale, relax and release. Let your energy body drop into your physical space. And invite your belly to be present with us in this circle. Let your belly come to rest. To be present and loved and accepted as it is. And let's call on our source. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your eternal compassion, the ocean of divine compassion that is the ocean that we subsist in, that contains all. It is beyond our time and space reality, as all of the divine attributes are. This is the ocean that contains our entire existence. So we call on the vibration of that ocean of unconditional love. We bring all of our being, our minds, our hearts, our bellies, and all of our physicality and everything else to rest in this ocean of pure divine compassion. So let yourself be held and supported in that ocean. And again, let your energy body really drop into your physical space and feel the support of this ocean of eternal compassion that holds and supports and contains you in everything you do. This is an ocean of love and acceptance, an ocean of support and forgiveness. So allow yourself to rest. And as you breathe this in, breathe in deeply into your heart space again. And again, invite this life force to touch into the center of your heart. And begin to turn your attention toward your heart's desires and goals. Let this vibration, as you breathe this in, let it awaken the inspiration in your heart. The inspiration that we feel in our hearts is a communication from our source. This is one of the ways that we receive gifts from our source into our lives. The breath of spirit is the breath that breathes us. And it breathes inspiration into our hearts. And when we say yes to the inspiration that we feel, that becomes like passion, motivation, drive, goals, when we say yes to this, when it's coming through us and into our hearts, this is a way that we say yes to our source. And when we follow the inspiration and we follow it up with inspired action, we allow our source to express and manifest through us. And this is a way that we can know our source, that we can allow that source to bring gifts into our lives, that we can witness and marvel at the miracles and the beauty that our source brings through us. So if you are one who sets annual goals, New Year's resolutions, and think back to the beginning of this year. What did you want to make of 2019? What goals did you set for yourself? What dreams did you have? What did you think that 2019 was going to be about, or what did you feel that was here for you in 2019? And take a minute and make some notes. Write that down for yourself. If you're not one to set New Year's resolutions and annual goals, whatever you want to call them, just feel into your heart. Is there a goal that you had set for yourself for this year? Is there some vision you had? Or is there something that you want to have happen for yourself or for others? Either for the whole year or just for this next few weeks that we have left. Is there a relationship that you want to mend? Is there something that you wanted to accomplish? Something you wanted to have or to do or to be? Feel into that. Breathe it in. I'll let it come to rest in you. And again, make some notes about that. Take a minute to write it down. Now, once you've written that down, just take a look. How has it turned out so far? Are there things on your list that you can check off? Things that you can either scratch off that they're not relevant anymore or put a gold star because you've completed? You know, some people say that they get a little caught up about setting goals and intentions because there's that feeling that, well, I'm trying to do my will instead of God's will, and this isn't right, or I'm not trusting, I'm not being in the moment. But you know, we're part of how we're made is to have desire and to have goals and to want to aspire and to achieve. And you know, when we're doing it from inspiration inside of ourselves, we're really giving an opportunity for Source to manifest and bring gifts. So, you know, if that comes up for you, and I play this back because, you know, I hear it a lot from people. But I honestly believe, you know, it's like it's part of how we get to live this life and get to play this game of life. And it can really be fun when we allow ourselves to feel the inspiration and the desires that we have and to act on them and to allow them to come into being. It can really be fun. And even if it doesn't turn out the way we thought it was going to turn out when we first started, we still get to play the game of life and really have fun with what life brings. And, you know, even take the detours and find out sometimes that, well, that's not where I thought it was going to go. But you know what? It's okay because I am where I am, and there's divine intention in that. So if you're noticing there's a lot of things on your list and maybe they didn't turn out the way you thought they were going to, then what did you receive? What did you learn? What did happen for you? Now, next week we're going to get more into reflection and celebrating successes and looking a little bit more at the good that came and what remains. But for now, let's look at, is there something on that list that you still want to try to move through or into in these coming weeks? You know, pick one or two things, something realistic. It's not too late. We have lots of time left. Now, allow yourself to sit with whatever it is that you choose. Allow yourself to sit with it. Be present with it. Turn that funnel of heart energy toward it. That funnel from the front of your heart space, just turn it toward this thing. And as you're breathing in that essence of divine light and unconditional love and eternal compassion, let it move through you and into the depths of your heart center. And as you exhale, let that light and love and compassion move out and direct it directly toward whatever it is that you feel like you want to put some extra focus and attention into on these next few weeks. And notice what happens in your heart as you turn your heart toward the energy or the intention of whatever you want to complete for yourself or move into or through in these next few weeks. Notice what happens in your heart as you move your heart toward it. Does your heart feel like it wants to take a deep breath? Get some extra breath into that space. Maybe sigh a relief because you're finally bringing some focus and attention back to something that had been hanging in the periphery of your consciousness for a while. Does your heart constrict and say, oh no, I can't do it, there's not enough time, or failed again, or whatever, some of those voices that come up? Just continue to breathe with it. And again, breathing in that essence of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion, breathing that into your heart as your heart, again, faces directly toward that, whatever that thing is for you, that item on the list, or that some part of your reality, some part of your life. And just let yourself breathe with it. Let your heart breathe with the energy of whatever this thing is, and invite the energy of this thing to breathe in rhythm with your heart, to come into connection, and breathing that essence of light and love and compassion into your heart center, where you especially into that center, in that space inside yourself where you can feel the desire, feel the passion. Let that light and love and compassion increase the passion in your heart, the desire in your heart, as your heart then just beams more energy toward this thing that you're sitting with, inviting this thing into this field of inspiration with you, letting it increase with each breath, letting yourself become more and more connected with this thing and more passionate about whatever that will bring into your life. Let your desire just come into alignment with this thing, and let this thing invite this thing to come into alignment with the desire in your heart, so that you're in the same energy, aligned, you're breathing together, you're moving together. And let it build the passion, the feeling of passion, the feeling of desire, the feeling of excitement, however you may feel that. Sometimes it can feel that depth, that really deep passion, almost like a grief because it's something you wanted for so long and not had. However that manifests for you, honor that and allow yourself to feel it. And as you feel into it, what is a realistic goal for this, for the next few weeks? Let yourself feel that. If it takes you out of the space to stop and write it, then just make a mental note. Otherwise, you can make some notes about it on your paper. And again, breathing into this space, aligned with the energy, feeling the passion in your heart. Bring into your heart, I'm feeling the quality of Al-Jabbar. There's a divine attribute that's called Al-Jabbar. And it is the attribute of repair and restoration, and of, let me just pull out notes. It's like the irresistible, the one who unites. It's healing, the healer who realigns, the one who has power, the one who improves. Al-Jabbar, it's J-A-B-B-A-R. So call on the quality of Al-Jabbar, the divine attribute of Al-Jabbar. Now read from Sufi Book of Life. Sometimes we need to act with strength to repair what has been damaged in order to heal ill health or misfortune. No doubt life contains many moments when the wise thing to do is surrender to circumstances. With this quality, Al-Jabbar, now is not the time. Perhaps something in your life, inner or outer, needs repair or restoration. Life is calling you now to take action and take yourself in hand. Instead of being afraid that you can't do it, allow yourself to feel the one being acting through you. This pathway of the heart asks for concentrated, creative energy. So if you feel there's something you want to complete in the remainder of this year, let's call on the quality Al-Jabbar. Jabbar. Jabbar. Let's call on this quality. The root of JB indicates the creative power of the one, enclosed and working within the organic limits of nature and of creation itself. This power heals wounds, repairs bridges, and closes circles that want to come full, all in the right time. The second half of the word bar shows that this restorative and creative power gives birth through the divine light and intelligence. We naturally bow to this power. In this sense, Jabbar is also what compels us to wonder at the one's creation and to surrender to the power behind it. The equivalent root is used in the Hebrew word Gabriel, the angelic expression of divine power, who is called Jibril in the Arabic. And the angel Jibril is credited with having brought through the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Al-Jabbar, Al-Jabbar, Al-Jabbar. Breathe that into your heart center, into your heart space. Breathe that in. Feel it. Let it awaken. And really bring the inspired action and the motivation to act on the inspiration. Let it bring that into your heart space. Feel that building and becoming strong inside yourself. So call on the essence of Al-Jabbar. 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 The irresistible, the repair and restoration, the one who unites, the healer who realigns, the one who has power, the one who improves. Al-Jabbar. 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 Breathe that into your heart center and let it wash away any of the blocks or barriers, any of the doubts, and let it bring in that divine power, that angelic divine expression. Let that come in through your heart and breathe it in. Let it travel all the way into your core and anchor into you. Let it anchor into you, this divine expression, the divine power that wants to move through you to express and manifest into your life and into the lives of those around you. We question our own inspirations, but the divine knows. So put your trust into the inspiration that wants to move through you and say yes. Say yes to the inspiration. And as you're saying yes to this, just let your heart open and get stronger with each yes. Just saying yes, saying yes, saying yes, saying yes to the divine inspiration, saying yes to the motivation as that comes in and wants to move you, saying yes to the drive that you feel in yourself, saying yes to bringing this through and allowing it to move through you, saying yes to being a participant with it, to shepherd it through. And take a moment, be with it, be with it, be with it. And what will this mean for your life to have this completed in the next few weeks, or at least underway and moving through you in the next few weeks? Let yourself get a feel. What will that feel like in your life? What will it be like in your life? Feel yourself fully in it and integrated into it. As you see the vision of it, see yourself and feel yourself and be yourself in the center of that vision, so that it feels alive for you and connected for you, and you feel yourself in it as a part of it, a moving, living part of it, and it is a living, moving part of you. And as you feel this, if you can, without coming out of this space, if you can make some notes about that. What does the vision look like for you? What does it feel like for you? What is your life like at this time? And breathe it in, receive, and let it land into your physical space. And let your physicality land into it, merge and become one. As you breathe that in, again, receive and let it land. Let's take a moment again as you say yes to this. And from your heart, make a commitment. Make a commitment to yourself and to this, whatever it is that wants to move through you. And again, on your paper, perhaps on a separate sheet, just take a moment and write a commitment to yourself. You can write it in the form of a letter to yourself. as in dear self, your name, of course, I commit to you. And make a little letter of commitment to yourself there. And as best you can, speak from your heart. Allowing the motivation and the passion to move through you and speak back to you through the words on the page. I'm going to hold the space for you while you take a minute to write. Calling on the essence of the healer who realigns, the one who unites, the power, and the divine angelic realms. And when you come to a close on your letter to yourself, your note to yourself, of course, sign it. And I'll invite you to save this and actually bring it back next week as well, or when you're listening to the next recording. So you have this to refer to for the rest of this, our next 4, the next 3, this one and the next 3 of our healing circles. And now, the next question is, what are some actions that you feel inspired to take or that you can take to move toward this commitment and move toward this inspiration that is motivating you to take inspired action and manifest some gift from your source into your life? What are some specific actions that you can take or that you need to take in order for this to come into being? And take a moment and write down. Write down what are the actions you need to take or want to take. And when you complete that list of actions, I want to give you enough time without having too much dead air space here. So when you complete the list of actions, take a look at it and ask yourself, what is the one thing that you can do today that you feel motivated to do, that you can do, that you can say yes to? And put a star by it or circle it. and schedule a time to get that done, or maybe it's something you can do just as soon as we complete this call. But circle the thing you can do today, schedule a time for it, and write that down for yourself. When you will take this action, when you will follow through on that. And then when you've done it, come back and put a check mark next to it. Give yourself a big heart hug. Celebrate every success along the way. Make it easy on yourself. Acknowledge whenever you have taken a step. And celebrate by giving yourself a big heart hug and a pat on the back and whatever that is for you. But acknowledge yourself. And then, if there's other steps you can take today, that's great. But I invite you over this coming week to take a look at this list, at whatever it is that you're committing to, or that your motivation, your passion, your desire, whatever it is where you're wanting to see change, where you're committing to yourself, what your commitment is to yourself, and your action list. Come back to this every day this week, preferably in the morning, and look at the action list. What are the action steps you can take in that day? Put a circle around it and a star by it or whatever it is, and schedule the time when you can get that done. If you want to do this for the whole list and schedule it out for the whole week, that's great. Or you can take it one day at a time. And then when you've completed that action, come back and check it off. Give yourself a big high five, heart hug, pat on the back, fist bump, do a dance, whatever that is for you. Give yourself acknowledgement and celebration at every step along the way. Okay, now again, I invite you calling on, when you get stuck, especially calling on that energy, that divine attribute of Al-Jabbar. 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 Let me read that last little piece one more time for you. Al-Jabbar. This pathway of the heart as for concentrated creative energy. The root JB, Jub, indicates the creative power of the one, enclosed and working within the organic limits of nature and of creation itself. The second part of the word bar shows that this restorative and creative power gives birth through the divine light and intelligence. We naturally bow to this power. Jabbar, the creative power of the one, enclosed and working within the organic limits of nature and creation itself. The restorative and creative power giving birth through the divine light and intelligence. Jabbar. So call on Jabbar if you feel you're getting stuck, or just do that as a thing to do in the morning when you're wanting to re-inspire and motivate yourself. As you look at your list, circle what you're going to do, schedule time to do it, follow through, make your check mark, celebrate your success, and then look to the next one. Al-Jabbar, and of course giving gratitude for each step along the way as well. Again, this is how our source manifests through us to be known in the world that we live in, to be known by us and through us. And it's a beautiful, beautiful gift. So I invite you to give that to yourself this week. Now, breathe that in, let it land. I'm going to open for Q&A, and I'm happy to support you in whatever way you need. If you're listening to the recording, if you need support, you're welcome to connect with me. You can go to joyfullylivingwellness.com. And also, even if you're here live with us, if you want to connect more deeply on this, you're welcome to go to joyfullylivingwellness.com. There's a place there where you can schedule a 30-minute breakthrough session. You're welcome to schedule a time for us to chat there. I'd be happy to get on the phone and chat with you this week or next, whatever works for you. And again, if you're listening to the recording, you're welcome to join us here live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. Again, you can find that information at joyfullylivingwellness.com. Click on the link for the Prayer and Healing Circle there on the home page, or it's under Events. You can just click on the Community for Conscious Living Weekly Prayer and Healing Circle. While you're there, you can also pick up your copy of the 10 Spiritual Principles of Our Human Existence. It is a one-sheet that gives us a list of what this work is based on, and just the beliefs about who we are as spiritual beings in human bodies, having this beautiful experiences on planet Earth, helps us to keep in perspective. It's 10 points that helps us to keep in perspective the truth of who we are, why we're here, what this life is about, because there are way too many things in the world that bombard us with information that takes us off course from that, takes us off center, leaves us ungrounded and confused and spinning in circles. So we owe it to ourselves to remind ourselves as much as possible of the truth so that we're living a life that is aligned with our core essence and with our purpose and with our desires. So print this out and make multiple copies. Put it on your nightstand, your closet door, your mirror, your refrigerator door, your computer, your purse, your wallet, your car, wherever you'll see it regularly, and remind yourself of just what a beautiful, exquisite, divine being you are. And with that, I'll end the recording and open for the Q&A.